was bitches out hit me a lot. Like damn, she in her mood. 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 She lit, get money too. Like damn, she in her mood. No friends, I don't fuck with them.
But in this economy, who has the money to keep paying to go to the hair salon? If it works for you, go ahead. But like, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Which is for the girlies with the thickest of thick hair. Unless, you know, you're fine with ripping out your hair. Hey y'all, it's your girl Kay, but you can call me Casey May, and may God bless you for bringing you my way. Don't forget to like, comment a heart, and subscribe to my channel. Not only will it help me out with the algorithm, if I'm being honest, I would just greatly appreciate it. Also, while I got you here, follow me on Instagram at itgirlk for all the behind the scenes, especially with my modeling content. Before we get into today's video, I want to address the elephant in the room. For anybody who isn't new to watching my videos, you might have noticed that I am in a totally new background. I am proud to announce that I have officially moved into a new apartment. And of course, I recorded everything, so be on the lookout for a vlog of me moving into my new apartment. But now that we got all these updates out of the way, today's video is going to be about how to build a hair regimen. And this video is for the girls who know nothing about natural hair. This video is for the girls who have a regimen already but might need some readjusting. And this video is for, you know, the natural hair experts. Even myself, I've been natural my whole life, and still doing the research for this video, I learned a lot. So let's get into it. If you don't know what a hair regimen is, it's basically a structured, consistent routine that helps to enhance but also maintain the overall strength, health, and overall appearance of your hair. If you want to build the right hair regimen for you, you need to ask yourself two questions. What is the current state of my hair, and where do I want my hair to be? What are my natural hair goals? And then you can reverse engineer the gap between where your hair is and where you want to be. In any natural hair regimen, I feel as though there are 8 key components that makes the difference of whether your hair flourishes or not, and it all starts with a clean foundation. Moisturizing products cannot penetrate your hair efficiently and effectively when it's already being clogged with weeks of butters, creams, gels, oil, sweat. So that's why it's so important that you're cleaning your hair at least once a month and at max 4 times a month. There are so many options for natural hair girlies now that we can use to clean our hair, but I think the most essential one is always going to be a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoos are shampoos specifically formulated for a deep cleanse. When I say deep cleanse, I mean it's going to remove any buildup from any product, including products with silicones, products with butters, products with oils. They remove environmental pollution. Your hair is literally going to be stripped, which is why a lot of naturals tend to stray away from these type of shampoos, especially the ones with sulfates. But regardless, our hair still needs a deep cleanse at least once a month. Plus, if you're someone who tends to condition or deep condition after shampooing, your hair being dry for 5 to 10 minutes isn't going to do any type of serious damage. Now, let's say you don't want to use a clarifying shampoo on your hair 4 times a month. What are your other options? Well, first, let's talk about moisturizing shampoos. Unlike a clarifying shampoo that is primarily focused on cleansing, moisturizing shampoos have a focus on hydrating and nourishing hair, and are typically labeled as sulfate-free shampoos. In the past, I would stray away from sulfate-free shampoos, but more recently I've been trying it, and I realized I have noticed a difference when using moisturizing shampoos in between my clarifying days. So if you are someone who struggles with dry hair or dry scalp, this may be something that you want to implement into your routine. Another option would be a co-wash, and co-wash is short for conditioning wash. A co-wash is a conditioner formulated with cleansing agents. So while you could use a regular conditioner and try to use it for cleaning purposes, it doesn't have the cleaning agents to actually clean your scalp, while a co-wash does. Again, it's a great option to use in between your clarifying washes, but it can never replace them. Another cleaning option you can use are rinses. Rinses are a liquid solution typically made from natural ingredients that help to cleanse or detoxify the hair and scalp. For me, I like to use rinses in combination with my washes, but of course you can use them by themselves. It's just a matter of figuring out what works best for you. And the final product I'm going to talk about is Aztec clay. And if you're an OG curly girl, or if you're just like an OG in the self-care community, you know what Aztec clay. Aztec clay like took over the world in 2016. Aztec clay is a natural clay known for its detoxifying properties. So after you use this, again, your hair is going to feel super dry because it's going to deeply penetrate your hair and remove any type of toxins or impurities. If you're going to use this clay, I definitely would not recommend doing it weekly. Maybe bi-weekly, or maybe just once a month would be enough, especially if you're someone who's on the drier end of the spectrum. So when using this within my regimen, I wash my hair first, I use the Aztec clay, and then I make sure to deep condition. I don't just condition, I make sure to deep condition, because that's how dry your hair is going to be. So now that we've washed our hair, it's time to move on to the next key component to add moisture back into our hair, which is going to be conditioning. So there are two main conditioning products that you should be reaching for after you wash your hair. You have your rinse out conditioners, which are really common for using right after you shampoo. You leave them in for the remainder of your shower and then you rinse them out at the end. And then you have your deep conditioners that are specifically formulated for deeply penetrating your hair and giving it that extra boost in hydration. And I want to say, don't feel like you need to do both a rinse out conditioner and a deep conditioner. Do whatever convenient and beneficial for you, because this is your hair regimen. Pro tip, if you want your conditioners to be more effective, apply a plastic cap over them so they do like a greenhouse effect, and that'll open your pores, making it easier for your hair to receive moisture. And another pro tip is to detangle your hair with conditioner in it. Like during the conditioning process, whether you're doing a rinse out conditioner or you're doing your deep conditioner, that is when you should be detangling, because that is when it's going to be the easiest. Speaking of detangling, that is actually the next key component. With natural hair, detangling is a must, because the more tangled your hair is, the harder it's going to be to comb or brush your hair without causing breakage. Plus, it's also harder to apply products to tangled hair because it's more difficult to apply the products evenly. When it comes to which detangling tool you use, it's all up to you, because while I might like wide tooth combs, another curly girl might like using her tangle teaser or a Denman brush to detangle. So a couple of your options include a wide tooth comb, which is just a comb with a wide set of teeth that makes it easier to separate and loosen knots without causing damage. Then you have detangling brushes that have gentle or flexible teeth that make it easier to glide through hair while gently removing knots. And then if either of those options don't work, you still have the choice to finger detangle. Finger detangling is another effective option that allows you to gently work through knots with your fingers. And that's really great because like with a comb or brush, it's so easy to like rip through something. Whereas with your fingers, like you can take each hair by hair and remove a knot seamlessly. Even if you do use combs or brushes, sometimes like I'll find a knot and I don't feel comfortable using a comb or brush through it, and I will decide to work through it with my fingers. So a couple of pro tips is, one, you already know, do not detangle on dry hair. Detangle with wet hair with conditioner in it. That is the best time to detangle. Another tip is to work in manageable sections, and what's manageable to you may not be manageable for the next person. So however many sections you need is all dependent on you. I might be able to detangle my hair in 4 sections, whereas you might need 8 sections. Another pro tip is to make sure that you're starting with your ends and working your way up so that you're not ripping your hair out from its roots. And the most essential tip when it comes to detangling is to be patient. Detangling is not a process that you should want to rush through unless, you're fine with ripping out your hair. But I'm assuming you're not, because you're trying to build a healthy regimen. So now that we've washed, conditioned, and detangled, it's time to move on to moisturizing. Unlike people who have a straighter texture of hair, people with naturally curly, naturally kinky, naturally coily hair, our natural sebums are not allowed to run through our hair since we have curls at our roots. So it's important that we add moisture to our hair manually. The key to having moisturized hair is water. Water is a natural hydrator that is essential to maintaining your hair's health and elasticity. And although water is essential to every hair regimen, it's not going to be enough for most naturals for maximum hydration. So that is where the rest of our products come in. Leave-in conditioners are exactly what they sound like. They are conditioners formulated to be left in the hair without being rinsed out. And I have seen people use their deep conditioners and their rinse out conditioners as leave-ins. But from my experience, when I used to try that, I actually ended up getting moisture overload, which is when your hair is out of its moisture protein balance. And as a result, your hair just gets really limp and mushy and soft. It was a whole entire mess. And the only thing that fixed it was a protein treatment, which was like cool, but like I don't know, it was just something I wouldn't recommend to anybody. So if you're doing that, If it works for you, go ahead, but like I wouldn't recommend doing it. Mists are lightweight spray-on products used for hydrating the hair, and because they're so lightweight, they are actually really great for refreshing your hair when you don't have time to do a whole hair routine. So now that we've moisturized our hair, some naturals are going to need to seal in that moisture if their hair has a problem holding moisture. If you're trying to figure out whether or not your routine needs a sealant, try a routine with the sealant, try a routine without a sealant, and then you'll be able to determine which version made your hair feel better. Within the natural hair community, oils tend to be the most popular kind of sealant. Oil is really great because it mimics the natural oils that our scalp produce. And depending on which oil you reach for, that oil will have a different set of benefits. For example, you have coconut oil, which is actually considered a moisturizing oil because it is one of the few oils that are able to penetrate the hair shaft, while typical oils just sit on top. And then you have grapeseed oil, which is a great option if you don't like the oily feel in your hair, because grapeseed oil is actually lightweight and non-greasy. Then you have Jamaican black castor oil, which is for the girlies with the thickest of thick hair because this oil is thick. But if you have thin hair and you're also trying to grow thicker hair, this oil may be for you also. Maybe you tried oils and you just figure oils just aren't for me. Well, then you have butters. Butters are rich in fatty acids and vitamins, making them not only great sealants, but they also do a great job at aiding in moisture. Keep in mind, they don't take the replacement of moisturizers, but they can help to boost moisture. And it's always best to buy oils and butters in their raw form because that is when they are the most nutritious and effective. And just how there are different types of oils, you also have different types of butters. For example, you have shea butter, which is rich in vitamin A and vitamin E, and also great at enhancing protection and moisture. Then you have cocoa butter, which is great for softening and smoothing the hair out. And if those butters are too heavy, then you have mango butter, which is known for being lightweight and non-greasy. And maybe you don't like oils, maybe you don't like butters, maybe you just old school. You can also use grease as a sealant. Grease was a product specifically formulated for thick, black, coarse hair, which is what makes it such a great sealant. The only problem has been that grease does tend to build up easier than its more modern alternatives like oils and butters. So now that we have a solid foundation for our hair, we have washed, we have conditioned, we have detangled, we have moisturized, and we have sealed our hair, it is now time to get into the fun part, which is styling. Just keep in mind that there is no singular way to style your hair. How you want to style your hair all depends on what look you're going for and what your hair wants to do. So first things first, you have to pick a styling product. A styling product is a product that helps to define and enhance the curls, the kinks, the coils of our hair. Some people like to reach for creams, which are known for enhancing definition while reducing frizz with a softer hold. Creams are usually thicker than leave-ins, but not as thick as a butter. If you're looking for a stronger hold, better definition, then you might be interested in using gels as your styler. But just keep in mind that not all gels have the same hold. So even if you find a gel that you don't like, there are hundreds of thousands of other gels that have a completely different hold. It's just a matter of finding the gel that works for you. Gels enhance your curl pattern by clumping your curls together, giving your curls a more uniform look. And if you ever get a hard cast while using a gel, usually all you gotta do is put some oil on your hands and like scrunch the gel out, and the hard cast will break away, or it will naturally break away over time. Jellies have a similar texture to gels, but their hold is usually a lot lighter, similar to a cream, making them really good for refreshing curls without giving the stiffness a gel can give. Custards clump curls while also giving your hair a boost in moisture. Their hold is usually stronger than a cream or jelly, but not as strong as a gel. And texture wise, I would say it's similar to pudding. And the last styling product we're going to talk about is mousse, because while in the past mousse has been used for straight textures, more recently the curly girls have been using them to hold their curls. Foam is a lightweight foamy substance used to hold a curl while also giving it a more voluminous look. So now that we talked about the products, it's time to move on to the tools. So of course you can use your detangling tools to style your hair, because those tools are going to be really great for distributing your product. Then you can also use a rat tail comb, which is really good for precision and parting your hair. For me, I like to use hair clips for sectioning my hair, and you can get these really cheap from like the dollar store, Five Below, anything like that. But if you don't like hair clips, you can also use hair ties, which are also really great for like sleek ponytail styles. And plus, hair ties now come in a variety of styles. Like you have the coily ones, you have the regular black ones, you can get them in your skin tone, you can get them satin, you can get them silk. There are so many options. Every natural should have a spray bottle because, like I said, water is essential. You need to have your spray bottle on standby at all times. Bobby pins are also really good if you're someone who's into doing like elaborate styles. Even like if you have a TWA and you're trying to put your hair in a ponytail, it's long enough to get in a ponytail, but you know, you have a couple of those hairs that just want to stand out. So bobby pins are also good for that too. And then a few optional styling tools would be like a blow dryer in case you're someone who likes to stretch your hair, a diffuser, which helps to evenly distribute the air, making it easy for the hair to dry without disrupting the curls. Then you can get a hooded dryer, which is really good for the girls who like to do twist outs and braid outs, but don't want to wait 24 hours for their hair to dry. And I just have like this little plastic thing that I hooked my blow dryer up to, and it was less than $20, I think. And then finally, you have the infamous edge brush, which is really good if you want to do your edges, or even if you just want to more precisely, you know, brush up your hair. So now we have our styling products, we have our styling tools. Let's get into our styling techniques. One of the most popular techniques, especially for girls with more kinky, coily hair, is the shingling method, which is when you apply basically gel individually to each curl so that every curl is defined to the max. This technique does take time, but I promise you, I can guarantee you that the end results are always beautiful. And then you have your twist outs, you have your braid outs, you have your perm rod sets, you have your flexi rod sets, you have your finger coils, you have your bantu knots, and the list goes on. I don't understand when people say natural hair isn't versatile. You just don't want to invest the time that you put into every other hairstyle into your own hair. Okay, so now let's talk about trimming. Professionals typically say that you should get your hair trimmed every 4 to 8 weeks, but in this economy, who has the money to keep paying to go to the hair salon? Personally, I think 1 to 2 times a year is enough for a trim. I actually haven't gotten a professional trim in about 4 years now. I literally just twist my hair up and trim my ends, but I do need to go to the salon and get my hair trimmed because I would like to, 1, get a curly cut, but 2, I want to get a silk press. And the final component to any natural hair regimen is your nighttime routine, because your nighttime care is going to determine how long you're actually able to maintain a hairstyle. And it's also key to maintaining the health of your hair, because when you just go to sleep on top of your hair, all that friction on your bed, on your sheets, on your pillows, that is going to cause unnecessary breakage. You can sleep with your hair in twist outs, you can sleep with your hair in braid outs, you can sleep with your hair banded up, which is basically like adding bands down the length of your hair so that when you wake up, your hair is still stretched and not like smushed to your head. Or you can sleep with your hair in the infamous pineapple, which is basically a big puff on top of your head. But regardless of the style you sleep in, as long as you're sleeping with a satin pillowcase, a satin bonnet, a satin scarf, maybe even like a dread cap, as long as you're sleeping with something to protect your hair, you should be good. So we talked about everything that you need to build your hair regimen, and you're probably thinking like, girl, this sounds expensive. But I promise you, natural hair is as expensive as you make it. Because a lot of these tools and a lot of products, you can find them at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar for the low. You can go to a Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx and get products for the low. There's been times where I went to Burlington and got an $80 worth of products for $40. So the only way that you're going to be spending excessive amounts of money is if you're someone who feels the need to hop on every natural hair trend, if you need to have the latest hair products. Because think about it, how often do you really use these products? Maybe once a week. There shouldn't be any reason that you need new products every single month. Like you need a whole new set of products every single month. Maybe every other month, but if you're going through products every single month like this, I don't know, something might be up. And maybe you are doing all these things, but it's not saving you enough money. You can always look on TikTok, look on YouTube, and find you some DIYs. There are a lot of DIYs, and I guarantee you buying these ingredients will save you a lot more money than buying an entire hair care line. And my final way for you guys to save money on your natural hair regimen is to buy your products in bulk. And I don't mean like buy a whole hair care line at once. No, I'm saying like there are products in boxes that come like in 2-in-1. So like especially during the Christmas time, they sell you like hair packages or whatever, but like it'll be like a shampoo and conditioner and they'll be like $16 together, versus if you buy them separately they'll be like $25. Definitely check those out and make sure that the price makes sense. So this is editing me, and I just wanted to add that you can also use the white people's products. I'm at work, I'm trying to whisper. But you can also use the white people's products, because 9 times out of 10, not only are their products made in the same factories as ours, their company probably also owns our products. So do yourself a favor, save yourself some money, and at the very least, give their products a try. Oh, and you can also purchase the sample size or travel size product first before committing to a full size product. All right, y'all, but we made it to the end of this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys saw something that was enlightening to you and to your journey. But don't forget to drop a like, comment a heart, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram for all the behind the scenes. And I will see you guys next time.